Right, Shalom, Shalom. Kaholo, Yahba Shim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Rekah Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and salutation to the Akim, pushing this word in truth and sincerity. Once again, we're on the highways and the hedges, yeah? Like we're commanded to come out on the highways and hedges, yeah? And bid Jake, the one that the blacks and the Hispanics, bid them to the marriage. Because we're in a time now, we're in a glorious time. All the prophecies are coming to pass. When the Lord in Matthew, the 24th chapter, he talked about when you see wars, rumors of wars, famines, yeah, pestilences, these are the times where the second coming of the one they call Jesus Christ. And it tells you he's coming. This is how he's coming, right? And the government knows about these. These are known as the chariots of Israel, yeah? Chariots of Yashar Allah, chariots of the Lord. Tells you he flew upon a swift cloud, yeah? And these are clouds. So we're out here to bid Jake to the marriage and to tell the heathens their judgment was coming. Because there's a judgment coming for them, whether they believe it or not. We've got, they're having a fuel crisis, they're having food crisis. Their society is actually falling apart as we see it. They've got a thing called quantitative easing, that's printing money. The same thing happened in ancient Rome, what's happening in this modern day Rome. Because what language do they speak? Or what language do you have to speak to become a lawyer? Latin. To be a pilot? Latin. These plants are named in Latin. So we know that this is the rebirth of the Roman Empire. Yeah? The Greeks became the Romans, and the Romans are Edomites. Everybody's got a biblical nationality. Yeah? There's no such thing as white people, black people, yellow people, Chinese, Japanese, West Indian, British. These are all modern day terms. Everyone's got a biblical term. The biblical name for the so-called white man, because he's in rule at the moment, is Edom. Right, that's his name, Edom. Edom, why is it in red? Because Edom means red. Adawam, yeah? What makes him red? He's got no pigment. So when Isaac saw him, he said, I Shashwa, wasted away is he. What was wasted away? His pigment. But the rulers of the next rulers are going to be the Israelites. Because why? The world was made for our sakes. All these other people, the Chinese, the Japanese, East Indians, they're all the side dish. You've got the main characters of the Bible are the so-called white man and the so-called black man. The white man's ruling now because he's got 3 chances to try and get it right. But he just can't get it right because he's not an Israelite. The earth wasn't made for him. He's got a jurisdiction of time. That's like the Bible in Genesis, Esau was born first, but he didn't get the blessing because he ain't right. The Most High made him wicked. So he said, I'm going to elect Jacob, the second born, the father of the blacks, Hispanics, and native Indians. Right? So let's get Isaiah 14:1 and let's see who the Lord is going to have mercy on. Yeah? Okay, it says here, for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob. Who's Jacob? He's the progenitor of the 12 tribes. His father was Isaac, and Isaac's father was Abraham. The Abrahamic line, where God said he will make Abraham's seed the rulers. But not as to many seed, as to one seed. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So we're up next. After this society completely implodes with poverty, because we're on the way there, with war, with pestilences, this is when the Lord said, we're going to step in, the changing of the guard, as they say. We've got a thing in England, up in the Parliament, up in the King James's Palace, where they got the beefeaters. And the beefeaters were originally black people. That's why they wear them them black woolly hats. Just like the judges are black people. That's why they wear a white woolly wig. But what it is, they've turned, because they've come into power, they've claimed all this for themselves to make them look great, make themselves look great. But they're the Edomites. Edomites, God said he hates, but to be just, he has to give them a rulership because of the blessing. They were supposed to get the blessing, but they didn't. The Lord said he's going to give it to us, the Israelites, blacks, Hispanics, and native Indians of Negroid and Indian descent. So he said this, and we're in a time where there's going to be no mercy on the earth, because the Lord is going to bring war, he's going to bring pestilence. He has to bring evils, the same evils. Let me see if I can find it. Where is it? How you doing? Right, he's going to bring the same pestilence as he did in ancient Egypt, because we're in modern day Egypt now. They got down on the Thames, they got Cleopatra's Needle. What's that doing here? That's all the way from Heliopolis, Egypt. It was sent there by the French Orient Masons. So why is it modern day Egypt? Because they got the same black people, what they call black people, or the Israelites, in slavery. So they have to pay the same way the Egyptians. Did not the Egyptians pay? They were flooded in the Red Sea. Right? So the same way they've done in ancient Egypt, they're going to do in modern day Egypt for slavery. They didn't get away with it as they thought they did. They built their society off of 400 to 500 years of slave free labor. And then they got the audacity to call us monkeys, niggers, baboons, coons, wetbacks, and say that we're lazy when we built their kingdom off of free labor. So they're going to have to pay for it. That's why their society is imploding. You see, they've never had morals, but at the end of the day, they've got to pay. There's a universal principle called karma. Excuse me, man. Hello, man. You think it's karma? You know what karma is?
Do you know about karma?
Yeah, I know what goes around comes around. That's karma, isn't it? That's a principle.
Not really.
Huh?
That's the pop culture version.
Well, what is karma? Explain to me the pop.
Very simplified.
Yeah, simplified to me.
This is the way you go.
All right, tell me what you know. You can always learn something. No harm in learning.
I don't feel like talking to you much because I know you don't talk too, like all your beliefs are too extreme.
It's too extreme to what? What category is it?
To reality.
And to reality.
Even your mouth here.
Does it feel with my what?
Your mouth.
My?
Mouth. This mouth. From. She's still not.
I didn't print that. I didn't do that mythology. That was set up by somebody else. I didn't
Yeah,
do that.
but you didn't check the facts.
Alright, so what is wrong about my theology?
I don't know about your theology.
This is theology. All this is theology. What you see here. It's to do with the Bible.
This is conspiracy.
That's what you say. Could you prove what you're saying? Because I can prove what I'm saying.
What can you prove?
I can prove when it's slavery in the Bible. I can prove World War I, World War II, World War III coming through the Bible. See what I mean?
Yeah, but you can't.
I just told you I can, but you're not willing to listen. Yeah?
Tell me about World War II then. How was it before the Bible?
Right, let's see. It's in the Bible. Yeah?
Right.
Let's get Isaiah 9:5, yeah? How was World War II fought?
Is this the New Testament?
This is Old Testament. Doesn't matter. The Lord said I come in the volume of the book, so it doesn't matter if it's old or new.
Oh, okay, because I see you were in Jewish city.
I am a Jew, that's why. I'm a real Jew.
Real?
A real Jew, they're fake.
Right.
Because they was given that land during the Balfour Declaration. The one they called Jesus Christ said he was going to take his people. That's prophecy. That's why we know they're not the real Jews. Plus they got kosher food. In Leviticus you're not supposed to touch, let alone eat it. Gay parades. But Leviticus 20 and 30 said if a man lie with man, and he's supposed to lie with a woman, they shall surely be put to death. So they can't be the real Jews, they're not abiding by the law.
So if it was up to you, would you kill gay people?
When Jesus Christ comes back, he's going to put them to death.
You.
Not at the moment.
Not at why not?
Because I ain't got the power to do it, they'll put me in
If
jail.
you had the
Jesus
power.
Christ said, wait ye upon me. That's what he said, wait ye upon me.
If you are asking a question.
When the Lord comes, I'm going to follow what the Lord says to
Can
me.
I ask you a question?
But
Today, if you had the ultimate power, would you kill gay people?
if the Lord told me
No,
to,
you.
if the Lord told me to,
So you need the extra
alright?
instruction.
Yes, because the Lord said,
But
wait
it's already in the Bible.
The
Why
Bible
do
said,
you
wait
need?
ye upon me till I rise up to the
So
faith.
it's
And
okay.
he said,
So
hold
it's
on,
okay to
hold
be
on,
gay until
hold
he
on
comes.
1 second. He said to me, the Bible says, if I go and do that now, then he's going to put me to death because he wants that first blessing to put all these other people in slavery and do what he's got to do. So we've got to wait on him, and then he's going to give us the power to execute his judgment. That's what the Bible says.
Gay people are very
Not just-
lucky that he's not coming back then. Few.
He is coming back.
Right.
That's why you see today we've got World War III around the corner. That's why we've got lack of food in the shops. That's why we've got coronavirus.
Very
All right?
different, my friend.
Because it's falling here. What country from?
Yeah, but that's not.
It does, of course it matters.
It does not.
All right, can you we're having a conversation? Just tell me what country.
No.
Okay, have a good day then. Right, let's go back into the we can't have discourse in here. It's not worth talking. Right, this is Isaiah 14:01. And it says, this is about these Edomites. They don't believe in God, but yet still they want to come up here and challenge me. Their God is Satan. That's why the Bible says that the soul which is in these people are not upright. You know why? Because they go in their own understanding. Yeah? They're the children of the devil. That's what the Bible says. And what colour is the devil? Red. Just like these people. Red as hell. Sun's out now. Now you can see their redness. And it says here, for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob. Who's Jacob? The father of the 12 tribes. And will yet choose Israel, the real Israelites, not them fake Jews over there, putting that line in 1919 to 48. Alright? And these devils, they come up here and she says, oh, this is make-believe, but go look on the news. You can see Russia's pointing missiles at England, at Europe, but yet still that's make-believe, is it? It's all in the Bible, but they ain't going to believe it because they're the children of Satan. What did the Bible say? Can one charm a snake? Can you charm a snake? No, you can't, because it will bite you. And that's what these white people are like. They're just like a serpent, a snake. They will bite you. Yeah? So let's read on. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob. Jacob is the father of the Israelites. Alright? And when this place runs out of food and there's anarchy on the streets, we're going to see how these people, you know, let's see how they react to that, because they got pleasures. They've had pleasures in this place for too long. So the Lord is going to turn up. Right there? You good? So the Lord is going to turn it up on this place. Yeah? Anarchy. Because they're used to having everything at their fingertips. Yeah? But we're going to see when this place implodes. And it says, I will choose Israel and set them in their own land. Because wherever the blacks Hispanics are, we're not in our land. Right? This is not our land. We was brought here as slaves, and we're still slaves now. This is not our land. This is why we know them people call themselves Jewish. They're not the real Jews. Because this prophecy, Isaiah 11:11, it says that the one he called Jesus Christ is going to take us back to our land. Yeah? So that's how we know they've got our identity. They've stolen our identity. They're identity thieves. Okay? That's why they're going to be punished the most. Yeah? He's going to make them to come and bend at our feet and kiss the dust, lick the dust off our feet and make them bend. Yeah? But that's how we are. We're not in our own land. We was brought here on cargo slave ships. This is why we're not in our land. That's why they call us niggers, monkeys, baboons, coons, a byword, according to Deuteronomy. But that's why we're going to see in these last days now who the real nigger is, who the real monkeys, who the real savage. Yeah? So it says, and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them. So we're going to have all the Israelites who are scattered, they're going to come back. Because we're scattered among all nations. That's why you get so-called Chinese people what believe in God, so-called Japanese, East Indian, Africans, they believe in God. They're the Israelites, the ones with the spirit of Christ on them, yeah? Not the blood drinking ones, not these ones. These are Hamites. These are not us. We don't do stuff like this. But yet still, they want to call us African. We got nothing to do with these people. This is what they call a spear chucker or bone in the nose. These are savages. These are nothing to do with us. But they try and group us with these people. These are the people what put us in slavery. What went into the interiors of Africa and sold us to the white man for musket guns and wine. Okay? We have nothing to do with these blood-drinking, odious works of witchcraft people. This is where the white man gets his witchcraft from. Egypt, Babylon, these places. So we're nothing to do with these bone tooting in their nose mother humpers. Right? And it says, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Because that's prophecy. Because it tells you in Revelations how they're going to say, we want to follow you so-called Jews, you real Jews, and hold on to the skirt of a Jew, because we heard God is with you. And you're beginning to see that God is really with us. Because he told us in the last days, the white man's going to go into war, said his society's going to fall apart. This was all predicted for slavery. He's got to pay now for what he did. He ain't going to ride off into the sunset. His days are numbered. Yeah? And it says it's with the Most High. Job 14 and 5. Revelations 12 and 12. And it says, and the people shall take them. So we're going to take these other nations, just like they took us. We are going to take them. We're going to ask them, did they ask us? Or did they take us? Yes, they took us. They raped us, because that's what rape means, to grasp, to grab hold. That's what they did. They raped us. Physically, raped us in the modern day term and in the ancient time. Because rape don't mean just grabbing a woman and having sex with her. It means grabbing them up, holding on. It means to hold on to. Yeah? And it says, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place. So we're going to take all these nations, right, and bring them to our place, right? What is our place? Our place is Jerusalem. The ones the Arabs and the so-called white Jews fighting for, that's our place, okay? We fled from there in 70 AD, okay? Let's prove it. It says here, this is Babylon to Timbuktu, yeah? A man named Rudolph R. Windsor, yeah, scholar. This is what it says. This is the second paragraph. It says, in the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem. Frustration. Let's get a picture of frustration. Where are you, sir? Let's try and see if we can find Vash. There he is. And it says, this is history, biblical history. There was a man called Vespasian and Titus and Domitian. Okay? Vespasian, Titus, and Domitian. And they're all so-called white men, Romans. They were called the Romans at that time. So it says, in the year 65 BC, the Roman armies, this is so-called white people because they're the Romans, the Greeks become the Romans, yeah? Under General Pompey captured Jerusalem, yeah? In 70 AD, right? Vespasian, General Vespasian and his son Titus, I showed you them, put an end to the Jewish state. Well, it weren't a Jewish, because there's no such thing as a Jewish person, right? If you add ISH, it means suffix, it means to pertain to. That's how we know they are not the real Jews. They want to be, because the blessing is for the Israelites, who they call Jews as a whole, or it'd be called Israelites, or they'd be called Israel, Northern and Southern Kingdom, yeah? And it says, Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state with great slaughter. So what does the white man do to the black people? right now in America, they're a white boy, 18, shoot up 10 blacks down in the supermarket. This is what they do. They're our number one enemy, right? And our people wouldn't still love them because they think that's Jesus Christ. They think they love white people because they think this is Jesus. This white boy here with the long hair, looks like he's from a punk band. This was never Jesus Christ. This is the devil the Bible speaks of, okay? Cesare Borgia, yeah, it's garbage, right? And it says, with great slaughter during the period of the military governors of Palestine, and that's what they're fighting over. The Arabs and the so-called Jewish are fighting for our land, yeah? It says, many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people. During the period of Pompey to Julius, Julius Caesar was another Roman homosexual ruler, yeah? It had been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa. If a Jewish person was so-called a white man, why would he flee into Africa to hide? That don't make sense. So this shows you they are real major liars. If you know about the ancient Egypts, the ancient Egyptians of antiquity were super dark. They used to call them black people. That's why when the Greeks went there, they called them Ethiops. Yeah, burnt face. When they went to Egypt, Ptolemy, Egyptos, bondage. So that's what we're in bondage now under the white man. They give us a national insurance number, they give us birth certificate. All this shows that you're a slave to this society, right? And it says, it had been estimated over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution. So why would a white man flee from a white man and flee into Africa? It don't make sense. That's why they can't be the real Egyptians or the real Jews or the real Israelites, okay? They are the children of Satan, they're liars. Okay, they're liars. Tells you, soon as they're born, they speak lies. They can't help it. They're a nation of thieves and robbers and liars, yeah? And it says, 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution and the slave persecution and slavery. The slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves. Okay? So, how can they be the Jews, yeah, when you can see here the same Jewish man is selling black people as slaves? Look at their hats. You can go down Finsbury Park and you can see these wearing their same cowboy looking hats, Abraham Lincoln looking shits, yeah? They were selling us. That's why, who's the richest people in the world? The so-called Jewish. Their money goes back to old money, slave money, yeah? The Rothschilds, the DuPonts, the Gettys, the Oppenheimers, the Wahlbergs, they're all banking families. That's where their money come from. Slaves, number one commodity on the stock market. What else? Sugar and cotton. Who was cutting the sugar cane? Slaves. Who was picking the cotton? The slaves. So we know they're not the real Jews. Right? That's why the society, we're watching the society fall apart. And it's very great biblical times, and it's beautiful watching the white man's world fall apart. Because he deserves everything what's coming to him. Yeah? Hello, what's your name?
Getting late to work.
Is that what your name is? Getting late to work? Oh, what a nice name. Hello, Mrs. Getting late to work. And the Elamites as well. She's probably one of those East Indian women. They're going into slavery as well. And I'm going to have a lot of them because they got them black nipples. Sorry, I'm going off the topic. Let's go. They got those black nipples. Right, and it says, and the house of Israel shall possess. So we're going to possess somebody. Why are we going to possess someone? Because they possessed us during slavery. They owned us. And they still own us. They ain't put us back. So the Lord said, we're going to take the people what put us in slavery and we're going to possess them. We're going to own them. Yeah? And it says, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. So what we're going to do, they're going to serve us. Why? Because we serve them. There was a program called Benson back in the day. Yeah? We were the servants, we were the slaves, and we still are to some aspect of this society. We are slaves because we're not the ones that are supposed to be working. They are supposed to be working for us. All these nations are supposed to be working for us. Why? Because this world was made for our sakes. That saith the Bible. The earth and all that therein belongs to the Israelites. Yeah? And it says, they shall serve handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. Right? So who's our oppressor? Who oppressed us? So who are we going to rule over? Which person built their society off of 400 to 500 years of slave labor? Who oppresses us up until this day? Who in America just recently shot 10 black people, yeah, and said that he's a white supremacist, right? He said he's a white supremacist, and he said he planned to kill black people. He doesn't like black people. And this showing who he is. He's our older wicked brother Esau, okay? Esau hates Jacob. Esau is the father of the white man, and Jacob is our father. And we're going to take them and put them in slavery, whether our people like it or not. If our people want to cleave to the white man, they're going to die with him in that day. Because when Jesus Christ comes back, we're going to take them, we're going to put them in slavery, we're going to work them from sun up to sundown, yeah, till they can't see at night, till they can't see in the morning, the same way they built their society off of slave labor, yeah? This is what's going to happen to them. They can't see it because they're proud. You know why? Because they got an army. But the Lord's got an army as well. They're called spacecraft. They're called chariots of Israel. They call them UAPs. Yeah? Unidentified flying phenomenon or something. Yeah? Or UFOs. Flying unidentified flying objects. UAPs what? Unidentified aerial phenomenon. That's what they call it. They change. The white man likes to change everything now and again, just to mix it up. How do you feel about slavery, sir? Sorry? How do you feel about slavery? Huh? So what do you think? If he was in charge, say he was in charge, he was Gordon Brown, right? And they said, we want to give, not Gordon Brown, it's a new one now. Boris Johnson. Yeah, Boris Johnson. Just imagine he was in his seat. And they said, we want to give these blacks reparations for slavery. Because you know how many years this happened, didn't it? How many years did this come for?
To be fair, you'll have to educate me, mate.
400 to 500 years of free labour. That's why you got a head start. That's why you got car engines, you got aeroplanes. Who do you think created all that? We did the slave.
Oh, yeah, I understand.
You know about that?
Yeah, I had a kind of an idea, yeah.
Right, mobile phone in your pocket. Who do you think invented that? Batman, Henry Savage. Traffic lights, Derek Morgan, gas masks, ironing board. Everything you see used today, the so-called black man.
I understand, yeah, I understand.
Right.
Everything's been stolen, definitely.
Right, so you're an intelligent guy. So what do you think about this then? If you was in charge and said, right, let's give these blacks reparations, how much do you think you can pay us for this?
Well, I think the number wouldn't really do any justice.
Right, so why? Why do you think that?
Well, because you can't put a price on you
Right,
can't put
sweat, murder,
yeah,
rape, robbery. Right, but they're still talking about reparations, right? Because they're trying to look at it, it's the Jews and the Germans, the Japanese. They got reparations for what? Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Did you know that?
Yeah, I know. Well, I know the Americans gave them it was like an apology, wasn't it?
No, they gave them loads of money. That's why Times
sorry.
Square looks like the way it looks.
Right. To be fair,
Right, the Japanese
yeah.
have done that for them.
Yeah.
These people here, have we got anything for this yet? Nothing,
Not to
innit?
my knowledge, there. So
Nothing. No, you see your knowledge, nothing. So there is a thing
It's
called.
not because I don't want to know. It's
No,
because
it's all right. It's not something that you're interested in.
No, it's not because I'm not interested. No, it's just like, it's not being, like, the information's not being presented to me, or I've
So
not,
you've never watched a slave film before? 12 years a slave.
Oh yeah, I've watched that, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
so-
No, I
so
understand the American slavery, yeah, I understand.
Britain is in. Britain was one of
Oh,
the.
I know they were, oh yeah.
Bristol and Liverpool.
Yeah.
They are slave ports.
Yeah.
Why did they throw down that Causden guy? They broke down his statue and threw it down into the river. Because he was a slave master.
Yeah.
So don't look at Britain. It's even more.
Listen, mate. Listen, look, I know this.
Right.
This
So
country, I know,
what is the
trust me.
financial capital of the so-called European Empire? England. Right. America is the military, and Italy is the so-called spiritual. They've got their Vatican.
Yeah.
Right? So at the end of the day, there's going to be a liquid. There ain't going to be no money reparations. It's going to be liquid. Do you know what I mean by liquid? Blood.
Yeah.
Because how is they shed our blood? Right? 400 to 500 years, the land is covered with blood. The only way you can get, there's a universal principle called karma. It goes around and comes around.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah,
So
you reap what
if-
you sow and all that.
Right,
Yeah.
you reap what you sow.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
if they sow 400 to 500 years of free labour, what do you think is going to happen?
It's going to come back.
It's going to come back. But what it is, so-called white people, they don't believe that because it ain't happened. They're saying, we've done all this and we're still doing it. Dropping bombs and all this.
There are a lot of things. There are a lot of things that a lot of people don't even like. They can't even comprehend. You know.
Right.
And,
We've got to have a spiritual eye to see it, innit?
and
Are you
I think-
spiritual,
I
man?
see a lot of stuff that I'm very familiar with. Like
Okay.
There's.
Are you a spiritual guy?
I am a spiritual
Do you
guy.
believe in the Bible?
I do. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
So let's read. Can I read something out of the Bible?
Well, always, yeah, but
Okay.
I'm an open-minded person.
Oh, that's good. That's good. This is Revelation. We'll go to the last book. Then we'll go to the
Bear in mind, I do have to. Before
I know,
I
how long
start,
you got?
I've got about 5 minutes.
I'll
Give me
give you 5
minutes.
minutes. I'll give you a few scriptures.
I'm more than happy to give another person my time, honestly.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. This is Revelations. Revelations 13 and 1. This is what God said. What's going to happen? Yeah. Revelations 13 and 1 and 13. Sorry, Revelations 9. 9 and 13. Let's go. Read that, I believe that. 9 and 16.
It's funny because I see a lot of things in media, like like Hollywood films and stuff and TV. There's a lot of symbolism, a lot of like dark symbolism, and it's right in front of people's
Right.
faces, and they just can't see.
666.
Yes, oh, it's all there.
One eye.
Yes,
Hungry.
yeah.
That all goes back to the Illuminati.
Yes,
What it
yeah.
is.
I'm very familiar. I'm very familiar.
Right. Do you know about
I get called a crazy person all the time, my friend.
Do you know about? Yeah, of course. Because they say you're a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
Have you heard of Agenda 21?
Yes, yes.
You know what that is? That entails population.
Yeah.
Rex 84.
Yeah, we're living it. It's right now. It's happening.
Right.
It's unfolding
So
right
what
now.
it is,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you know the crypto. You know about the crypto?
Yeah.
Digital currency. They want to put a microchip in everybody.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why they got them ready for that. You know the jab? They got them ready for that because that wasn't no cure or no.
So what people don't realise is that they are being experimented on
Yes.
every single day.
Yes.
It's about it's about obedience. It's a
Right.
social experiment,
Right.
and that's what I never give. And
Did
never.
you take it?
No, I didn't. No.
Oh, okay.
No, I didn't. No.
That's good.
No, I
Because
didn't.
there's an operating system in it as well.